Welcome everybody to our presentation. My name is Linus Rode. I'm the Sporting Executive Director for Oregon Surf SC, and I'm really excited to have this presentation ready and up for all of you that are on the line. Um, I'm so excited to announce Scott Thompson as our leader for our MLS Next program, and he will be providing a presentation talking about his leadership team and helping our club continue to grow on the boys' side. So, Scott, thanks so much, and I'll hand it off to you.
All right, Linus, thank you very much. And to everybody on the call, I just wanted to say welcome and thank you. Thank you for taking the time on a Monday. Thank you for taking your time in a busy schedule. We understand there's a lot of changes in the soccer landscape. And what we hope to do today is give you visibility to the program, talk through some of the great opportunities with MLS Next and Oregon Surf, and help give you the most amount of information so that you can make the best choice possible as you go into the tryout season. We will have questions enabled in the Q&A. The chat is disabled, so at the end, Linus and I will go ahead and read the questions for you and help answer as best we can. Not all the information is finalized yet, so stay tuned on social media or our website as we keep rolling out information. So as we begin, the agenda tonight is the welcome, and thank you for joining us. We want to give a high-level overview of the Surf mission, speak to some of the highlights on our boys program this last year, give an overview of the program, the costs, the expectations, as well as the schedule, because we do know that MLS Next is brand new to our market. We want to talk about the opportunities to come guest train as we lead into tryouts, and then provide an overview of the upcoming events. So first, we are part of Surf Nation. Surf Nation goes beyond just here in Oregon. It is comprised of hundreds of players, hundreds of clubs across the US and internationally. Surf is its own brand, its own identity, and we are fortunate enough to be ambassadors of this program. And so as we talk about the program and the benefits of being a part of Surf, it extends beyond just Oregon, and it gives us opportunities with select level events like San Diego Surf Cup, events where individual players can be identified for national events and training like Surf Select, as well as all of the branding and marketing and resources behind the Surf Nation brand. And so our mission is to create and be the best of the best. We hope to provide the best experience for you, your family, your player, so that they can achieve any level of the game that they hope to aspire to. So that might vary from whether you are a developmental academy player just coming into competitive soccer. It might vary if you are a multi-sport athlete looking to get the best experience possible to hopefully play one day high school soccer, but then also be the best track, basketball, or athlete at your high school. And ultimately, we want to provide the best opportunity if you aspire to one day join an MLS academy or one day go play overseas professionally. So under the Surf Nation brand, there's kind of three very high-level benefits of being a part of the program. The branding, all of the marketing tools, whether it's on social media, whether it's having content, whether it's video, photography at all of our events, that is all a part of the Surf ecosystem. Secondly, the community. For those that know me, I am a big proponent about building community. My youth soccer experience allowed me to go play collegiately at UCLA and professionally in MLS and with the Timbers because of the soccer community that made me a better player. And I aspire to always push for a club that supports all of its players and all of its members. And the third part of being a part of the Surf Nation is the resources. I'm very fortunate that when I was being brought on, I was able to attend Surf Summit. And Surf Summit is the national event where all the surf leaders come to one location and basically plan out all the year coming forward. And so this past year, Surf Summit was at the Nike campus. It was 2 days of meetings, presentations. We had a chance to listen to Drew Brees talk about his success in driving forward. But we also had a chance to go over technical sessions and listen to coaches from Manchester United. And these are all things that we wouldn't have the opportunities if we weren't part of the greater surf ecosystem. And so with that, in order to achieve the goals of the larger Surf Nation and obviously Oregon Surf, we have to have a staff of high-level professionals that are going to drive accountability to achieve our goals and achieve our mission going forward. I'm happy to announce a good friend of mine, a very good coach, a very good trainer, former professional player, former Timbers Footy Donso, will be joining us at Oregon Surf as our MLS Next Director of Coaching. His responsibilities will be overseeing our MLS Next program to ensure that there's consistency across all of our elite boys teams. Rounding out the staff, Khalif Al-Hassan and Ryan Johnson will also be involved in the program, ensuring that we have both technical and tactical functional training for all of our players. And we'll be announcing in the near future a director of high performance focused on all of the other elements of being a great professional or collegiate student athlete. So whether that's the video and game analysis or nutrition planning or weight lifting, that director of high performance will be ensuring that we are preparing our student athletes for what they will see collegiately in the near future. And so some of the highlights from this past season, because the club has already had great success in the boys program. And Linus, if you wouldn't mind just kind of sharing some of the individual highlights as well as team highlights from the year.
Thanks, Scott. I'll start with Malix Phoebe, phenomenal player. He's been playing up within our program for many years, 1 and 2 years. And recently he was selected for Surf Select national team. And he provided a great showing in Spain. And for us as a club, it was a huge step forward for a player that's really worked extremely hard and received the recognition that he deserved. And we've had now, since then, many other players follow suit as far as our Surf Select program goes. Jordan, above him, talented young player, was brought into the youth national team camp for the under 14s and was highly recognized as one of the top players within the group. And it will be, again, being brought in for another camp because he showed extremely well. And if you look to the left of the picture there, we've had our 2010 boys team that has won both the Man City Cup, which is a huge accomplishment. It's an extremely competitive tournament, international tournament down in San Diego. And they've also won the Las Vegas Cup as well. So on the boys' side, we're making massive strides from top to bottom. And again, this is the perfect platform as we continue to grow. Scott, I'll pass it off back to you.
Thank you, Linus. So part of that, the success of our players is having a curriculum in place. And one of the elements that's my responsibility is ensuring that from our youngest age groups, from U5, U7, U8, all the way up to our U19, U20, and collegiate players, there is a consistent thread across all those different age groups. And we've said this both with our girls ECNL program and with the boys. There's 3 main blocks of training. At the youngest ages, players are learning how to train. They're learning how to show up, look their coaches in the eye, train with their peers, and understanding not only a love of the game and the fundamentals of the game, but all the elements that are needed to train properly. In the middle phase, as we advance, players are training to train. So now they are understanding more high-level concepts. There's a more dedicated training regimen. The commitment level increases as we progress in this development stages. And the final stage is training to compete. And now we're actually training to win matches. At the oldest age groups, this is where we're shifting toward a tactical focus and focusing on winning games. And how do we showcase our individual players for the highest levels possible? I'll admit, this is not a perfect system. And in youth soccer, we all know that things change from game to game, from year to year. But the goal is to have a fundamental pathway for all of our players so that everybody knows what they're aspiring to. And there's movement between teams and age groups so that we are providing the best of the best experience for our individual players and for our teams. So with that, we wanted to give a quick overview of what it would look like if you were a part of the SURF program. For those that are aware, we have 3 main training facilities located in the Beaverton metro area. Tualatin Hills Parks and Recreation District, HMT, is one of our main facilities. Mountain View Champions Park is the other, which has 2 lit turf fields and a third 9v9 field. And PCC Powerlines, PCC Rock Creek, is our other facility, as well as Powerlines grass fields. For our elite program, we are looking to train 3+ times a week. Now, that training module might shift and change based on the events that are leading up to it. So it might be 2 technical sessions and a tactical session. It might be 1 technical and 2 tactical, with a video preparation session as we lead into a travel event. But the goal is to make sure that we are replicating the experience that players would see collegiately. So having game video to prep of our opponent, as well as game video to break down how we performed on field, is absolutely crucial. And we have a full-time collegiate recruiter. We have a full-time data analytics staff member on staff, and we use the Huddle video recording system to record all of our elite programs. We also have a full-time goalkeeper trainer, and we are looking to add on to that staff so that we have not only full-time goalkeeping training individually, but having a staff member at the field working with our goalkeepers in tandem with our head coaches. So here's a visual representation of what the MLS Next League would look like. And I know there's a lot of questions around, what do I do if I'm in OYSA or if I'm in ECNL? All the leagues are good leagues. I don't want to downplay any other league or any other opportunity. The value with MLS Next is that it provides you variety to play against multiple teams that are in Washington, and it gives you visibility and exposure to other MLS Next programs. That can be MLS Next academies, as well as non-MLS academies located all across the country. So in our division, we have 4 teams residing in Oregon, and we have 9 teams in Washington, all up and down the I-5 corridor. Most of the games will be single game weekends. At the younger ages, there may be double up weekends, but at the older ages, U15 to U18, you're looking at 1 game a weekend. And here is an overview of what the schedule looks like. This slide has been provided to us by Major League Soccer, so we want to make sure that we call out that we didn't create it. But it is a packed schedule. It balances out between high school seasons, and that's probably one of the benefits, that you don't have the conflict if you want to play high school. You're not traveling all over the Pacific Northwest competing with your high school schedule. But as we go coming out of tryouts, May is going to be our Friendship Cup tournament. That's hosted by Oregon Surf. June and July, you have 1 to 2 summer events or summer tournaments. And then starting in September, October, November, you have your high school, excuse me, your regular season for the younger ages, U13, U14. That'll be the high school age season for the U15s through U18s. During that time period, or coming right after it in December, is the MLS Next Fest. So this is the first major event that you have visibility to for other MLS Next teams. The location for that, last year, I believe, was in Indio, California. This is one of those areas where it's still TBD around this next year's schedule of events. Coming into the new year, we still have the regular season. So January 2026, we'll have games. Come February, there's MLS Next Regionals. And this is another event where we have the opportunity to compete against Californian teams. The winner of MLS Next Regionals will qualify for MLS Next Cup, which will be at the end of the season in June. So a very jam-packed schedule, a lot going on. It's a 10-month season, over 250 clubs nationally, over 1,200 players across the country. So tremendous exposure, not only from a league play standpoint, but then also from a showcase and tournament standpoint. And here is a more simplified schedule for those that don't like graphics, highlighting the Friendship Cup, the Washington Premier Tournament that we'll be a part of, Surf Cup Northwest, Surf Cup San Diego, and then the 3 MLS Next events in December, February, and June. Now, we know we've talked about high-level MLS Next. We've talked about the benefits of the program. We want to get into more of the granular details of what MLS Next or our Elite Boys program would look like. So here is the entire boys program. We want to make sure that everybody understands the different pathways or different steps to get to our Elite Boys program. MLS Next starts at U13. So our U13, U14, 15, all the way up to U18. Like we mentioned before, you're looking at 2 to 3 trainings a week with 1 to 2 local tournaments, and then 1 to 3 MLS Next showcase events. The overall cost for the year ranges from $2,500 to $28,000, but we'll have more definitive details and numbers for you as we get closer to tryouts. So before tryouts, though, we've had a number of folks reach out asking if they can come out and join a training session, if they can get exposure to some of our MLS Next coaches. And the answers are yes, you are welcome to come out to train. However, if you are registered with another club, you need to have written permission in order to come out and train. We want to be mindful and respectful of the teams that are currently in State Cup or finishing up their other league seasons. However, if you do want to come out, you are absolutely welcome to come out and watch a training session. You're welcome to come up and meet some of our staff at one of our locations. And if you'd like to have a more formalized approach, you can come to our website, oregonsurf.org, and click on the player interest form to join in. So as I mentioned, our upcoming events, tryouts are tentatively planned for the week of May 12th through 15th. This is a statewide tryout window. Unfortunately, we can't control the dates. So if there are conflicts with other tryouts, please reach out to us. We're happy to make accommodations. Registration for our summer camps is open, so we highly recommend folks that if you're going to be in the area, if you want to get extra training, if you want to push yourself to get to that next level, jump in our summer camps. And then we're happy to announce that the Friendship Cup is officially back with Oregon Surf, and that'll be happening on Memorial Day weekend. We already have a number of high-level clubs coming down to play, and it's a great way to kick off the season once you finish up with tryouts and get games in at the end of May. And then up and coming, we have our competitive boys info session happening on April 14th. And for those that have questions about the program, want to stay informed, or just want to see some of the cool stuff that's happening for our teams, you're welcome to follow us at Oregon Surf Soccer or at Oregon Surf ECNL ECNLRL. I know that was a lot of information, and we wanted to make sure we left time for questions. So if you would like to put questions in the official Q&A, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to reach out to myself or Linus after the call via email or a phone call. We're happy to here to support you. It looks like we already have some questions.
Yeah, Scott, so I can read them out. So we have a question that came up is, what is the plan for the U15? That will be 8th grade, not high school yet.
We don't have a definitive plan just yet. What'll more than likely happen is that we will create a training pool for the players that are not in high school, and then look at the options to either register them in OYSA for the fall season, or have set scrimmages or events set up for them in the fall before they go into their actual winter season.
Next question, is MLS Next a coach select, or is there a separate tryout?
And so I want to be very transparent that our coaching staff, one is extremely experienced. So part of being a part of MLS Next, all of our coaches are A and B licensed coaches. They all have direct MLS experience. They all have experience scouting players. So for example, footy is a national youth scout. So we have already actively gone out and scouted various events, whether it's the Timbers Discovery Program. You may or may not see us out at some of the local state cup games. We have a pretty good idea of the players that can compete at that level. So we will be identifying and inviting players prior to tryouts. Tryouts is also a window for the players that we haven't seen yet. So we do have a number of kids also within Oregon Surf that we have identified and we think can play at the MLS Next level. So to answer the question, yes, coaches will select players. Tryouts are an opportunity for us to evaluate new players, but we are already in the process of building out teams for next year.
Will U13s play OYSA in the fall?
Good question. We are evaluating all options, and we will come back to you and let you know what's the best league for our teams to play in to offer them the best of the best experience possible.
Is MLS Next for all ages?
No, MLS Next is not for all ages. MLS Next is for our U13 and older teams.
How does this work for multiple sport athletes?
Another great question. So for multi-sport athletes, we would ask them to look at their entire year's schedule based on the sports that they play, and have an honest reflection with themselves of can they actually commit to the schedule, because it is a demanding schedule. We are looking to play against top level teams, and the commitment is high. So that's where I would say, look at your schedule and look at, can you make everything? And if you can't, that's okay. You can still be a great soccer player and be a multi-sport athlete. I was a multi-sport athlete coming up, and I highly recommend it for families. This part of the reason why we want to give all of the costs, the schedules, the expectations is that you can make the best possible choice for yourself, for your family, and for you as an individual.
Got a few more questions here. What will happen to current 2011 boys blue team if players leave for elite team? Will there be new tryouts? Will this team stay at silver level?
Good question. So our goal is to provide as many levels as possible to offer you the best of the best experience. So we won't have an idea on the number of players or how many teams are created until after the tryout process is complete. But our goal is to provide multiple levels for all of our players and have a thread between all of our teams so that everybody has exposure to a coach, to a level, so that if they're ready to make that jump, they can. And if players need additional games or opportunities, they can shift back and forth between levels and teams.
Here's a good one. In terms of the April, sorry, 4/28 to 5/29, so dates, MLS Next training before tryouts. Do we need to not already be with Surf?
Got it. So for that window of time, if you would like to come out and watch one of our training sessions, you are welcome to. Under the current rules of our state association, players need to have written permission from their club in order to guest train with another club. So we want to make sure that we are following all rules and respecting our relationships with other clubs. And just to help with transparency and communication, so that if you are looking at another club or looking to try out somewhere else, we ask that you respectfully talk to your head coach, talk to your DOC, and let them know.
Also, is there a specific GK pre-out MLS training opportunity, or basically is it the same timeline as the regular players?
Was this for goalkeepers? Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are going to be building out a new GK schedule, so more to come on that. So I'd say for right now, the schedule's under the current surf schedule of training, but come summertime, we're looking to make some changes to that to help with all of our goalkeepers.
So similar question again. So can we repeat the dates of tryouts, which I think we've said is May 12th, right? So when it starts. And do we need a letter from our club for tryouts, or just able to guest train?
Got it. You do not need a letter for tryouts. The link to register for our tryouts is at our website. You only need written permission if you're planning to come before tryouts. If you've already paid all of your dues, if your season has concluded with your team, you do not need to ask permission.
Will there be one tryout for MLS Next? And if they don't make that team, will there be potentially another spot where they can try out for a competitive team?
Yes. So consider all of our players being evaluated under one pool with different levels of ability. So the goal is to have anybody who doesn't make an MLS Next team to eventually be trained in a way and have visibility so that they can one day attain that goal.
What are the ideal roster sizes?
Good question. So ideal roster sizes for our younger ages is 16 to 18 players. When I say younger, that's about the U13 to U15 age group. When you get to U16 to U18, attrition levels are pretty high. So between conflicts, players going on college visits, players getting invited to different national team camps, you actually need to have a deeper roster in order to compete. So those rosters are going to be roughly 18 to potentially 22 players. We also do that to prepare you for what you would see at the academy or at the collegiate level, where rosters go to 28 to 30 players. So we want to make sure that players are prepared for when they make that jump, they understand how to advocate for themselves with their coaches, but then how to compete when the roster is almost double in size compared to when they are a youth player.
Okay, we got a few more questions that we can get through. Let's see here. There was only one 08 team last year for Surf. If you only have one again, would that team be required to participate in MLS Next?
Good question. So depending on our tryouts, we will evaluate all of our teams and then make the decision if they are ready both for the commitment level and the technical and tactical ability level to play at MLS Next. So we won't have that information until after tryouts. But based on registrations and interest, we're confident that we'll field teams at every age group.
Okay, two more, Scott. Who is going to coach the 2010 MLS Next team?
We hope to announce coaching assignments in the next week. Keep an eye out on social media to find out who's coaching which teams.
What is the surf policy around player movement for the MLS Next programming?
Another good question. So our player movement is based on what's going to create the best of the best experience for that individual player and for that individual team. Knowing that we have a staff of coaches that are looking at all of our players and actively looking at what's the best experience for that player and what's going to help them be successful. So I don't want to sugarcoat it and say there won't be any player movement. That is not the case. We are trying to prepare players for what they would see at an academy level team. And at an MLS academy, there's players that come in, there's players that are always competing for positions, and there's players that eventually leave. And sometimes there's players that leave and come back. So we want to make sure that players are prepared for what that experience is like. They have the mental fortitude to be able to handle that situation. And ultimately, we prepare them for anywhere that they want to go. So yes, there will be player movement within the MLS Next pool, but know that those decisions are made not in a vacuum. It's made through a lot of discussion between myself, Linus, and the other directors in the program.
Two more questions, and then I think we wrap it up. The next question is, can you explain a little bit the difference between the MLS Next pro level and the MLS Next competitive tier that we are now in, that's expanded nationally, and how that kind of flows one into the other?
Yeah, that's a great question. So MLS right now is the top league in the country. As they've been building out their programming, they've created a second tier, which is what you see as T2, Sounders 2. It's kind of their second division that is basically how they develop players. Underneath that is the MLS Next, which is all of the academy programs. So you have MLS Next Pro, the Academy, and now what we are joining is the next tier of that ecosystem. So we will not be competing directly with MLS academies. However, events like MLS Next Fest, MLS Next Cup gives us visibility to those showcases. And the better that we do, the greater opportunity that we have to one day join that next tier of MLS.
Just to add to that a little bit as well, Scott, is that, as we go to those events, which we will insert certain teams into those events, there will be MLS scouts, national team scouts, and college scouts that attend those events very heavily. And we will be selective of the teams that we enter into those events to really showcase our club well. And another point with the league, if we, like Scott said, if we do well in the league, we have the opportunity to be promoted into the top flight of MLS Next.
That's a great shot. Thank you, Linus.
Last question. So the Friendship Cup will be with our teams that we get after tryouts. I guess the question is, are the teams that they enter into the Friendship Cup the ones after tryouts?
Yes and no. It does not have to be your after tryout team. So if you have a group of friends or people that you want to put a team together separate from your current club affiliation, you are welcome to register your own team. If you want to wait until after tryouts and once you're organized, then register, you're welcome to do that too. So yes, there will be surf teams that are entered into the tryouts, but the registration is open to anybody that wants to form a team and wants to play.
I want to thank Scott again. Couldn't be so excited to have him be the leader of this platform with his leadership staff. Scott did a great job, and I'll leave it for you for the closing comments.
No, thank you, Linus. Like I said, thank you all for joining. This was a very well attended meeting. Very happy to see all the folks on the call. If you have questions, please reach out. Email, text, call. I'm happy to meet and speak with all of you. So thank you and have a great night.